Hey everybody, before we get started, I just want to remind you this episode is brought to you by patrons like Got Comics, Qua, Jeremy Vasquez, Kylie Denton, Nestor Flores, Sodasan0424, and Video Gamer 75. If you like what we do and want to see us do more, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early and lots of other goodies, and it will help us out. Thanks for your support, everybody.
Thank you. It's on me again!
Damn it, Lucky. Alright, hold on. Well, I'm going to finish drinking my coffee into the microphone anyway, because it's almost done. Okay.
I don't know, the last few times I've been doing this, like, the can has just gone all over my hands.
Don't shake up those canes.
Yeah.
So I really would like to do, like, some kind of, like, deep Redline-inspired but I don't have the energy for that. I just finished this coffee, so... just start the Redline OST while you're listening to this.
Specifically Redline or Yellow Line.
Yeah, start with Yellow Line, then go to Red Line. Though, I mean, if you could just... Yellow Line's a really long track, because that's the whole... I don't know if it's been a while since I watched Red Line. I don't know if it's really a cold open or not, but it's the whole opening sequence of the film. It's great. That's my title right now, because everybody switched for summer. Anyway,
Yep.
Hey, hi. In case you can't tell from the title and this description, this is Let's Talk Fate Grand Order. I'm expecting there will be lots of people watching this, because this is going to be about Summer 2, Dead Heat Summer Race. Woo. I'm one of your hosts, Omega. That other voice you hear is Lucky.
Hey, everyone. I hope you're enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka On Your Mark. And while we here at Studio Omega like to bring you the latest NetGeo-related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events for both the JP and EM version of the game. So anyone not wanting spoilers should not follow Suspicious Goddesses.
Correct. So, before we get too deep, let's see. I'll do a double dip on the business. First off, no pro tip segment this week. There will be pro tips in the... Like, I have a couple of things that count as pro tips, but they are both directly related to the upcoming summer event, so I'm like, I'll just talk about them pregame. So that's the first thing. Also, this is episode 98 of Let's Talk FGO. Next week will be episode 99. That should be recorded, assuming nothing terrible happens to us, on August the 2nd. That will be roughly contiguous with our 2 years of doing this, okay? So that first off, that episode will be live, and we'll probably talk about mushy, whatever stuff. Oh, it's been 2 years. Maybe we'll sell the anniversary shirt again. Because we have shirts, guys, just in case you forgot. We mentioned that a little bit. I'll try and remember to put cards and ads and stuff. Anyway, so that'll be public. You can jump on our Discord and listen in. That'll be number 99. I don't know if 100 will also be public the next week, because that'll be like 2 back-to-back. We haven't decided yet. We'll see what we feel like in a couple weeks. Because, that's our tradition, but it would be just after one, so I don't know. That'll also be after all the anniversary announcements, so it'll probably be a good idea to get people in the community, so probably, ? I don't know. Like I said, we'll see how we feel. People are posting random stuff. I'm also going to have to mute games. Speaking of public episodes, by the way, we did What's Up 50 last week. That was live. If you haven't checked that out, go ahead and check it out. It's perfectly wholesome, in case you don't know, because we talk about Breath of the Wild a lot, and we had community there. And people may not have noticed it, because I just saw that today YouTube was like, limited ads. And I'm like, okay, I'll ask a person to think about that. I do think we talk about Zelda's butt a little, but mostly the episode is completely appropriate for all audiences.
I'm gonna grab that Destiny.
But, we didn't even mention what that was. It was just like, that's an image only for the people in live chat. Alright. So, yeah, that's a bit of our news out of the way. I guess I'll just pile on the news. We'll jump into Records of the Throne, a regular achievement topic. Hey, if you don't follow me on Twitter, which you should, at Unit Omega, everybody should know, hey, I have finally done it. I saved all that quartz just for that vacation. I have achieved, this time, Summer Mordred. It only took me 310 rolls and 90 Saint quartz.
That's actually pretty solid, considering.
Considering that I blew, over 300 last time and got 3 Tamalancers, and I think on one of the singles when I was out of fucking quartz, I got, a Stheno, but, I didn't get hardly any 4 stars. So no spooks this time either. The only 4-star I got was Mordred, and then I stopped because I'm Summer 2's right around the corner. Was a little spooked. The first roll was a dead minimum. Well, maybe not the most minimum, but it was just 3 stars and then 1 4-star CE that wasn't even an event CE, and I'm like, you're messing with me. Like, I was filled with assassins and casters, and I'm like, But I got her. Yay, she's the best. She's in my room right now. I need some EXPs, but I had to actually buckle down and push the event. But we'll talk about that more later. Lucky, I noticed you didn't write anything down here.
No, I haven't done anything. Like, do you want to talk a little bit about, like, Summer 1 now, or do you actually want to wait until
Well, let's see. We got a couple bit of news, but we're going to talk about Summer 1 anyway, so we can jump around in the doc.
All right, so we're gonna jump around a little, Doc. We're gonna talk about Summer 1. Okay, so basically, for the last couple of weeks after we had our anniversary, we had the Great Suck, the half AP, and I did a lot there. And I burned through, like, I was deep in the Ember Mines for, like, the longest fucking time. I think I got all but 2 of my, Summer Servants, like, completely leveled. The only 2 I have left are Squirturia and Punch Saint. That's, Archer Arturia and Ruler Martha. And, like, Squirturia, she's at, like, 68 right now. But for some odd reason, I just hit this moment, and I'm just all like, I'm fucking done. Like, yeah, I'm gonna roll off the bed. I am now floor lucky, and, like, I just couldn't.
Yeah, I think there's a point when you're doing, like, farming and stuff. And honestly, that's why people, I think, prioritize, like, 3-turn farming and all that so much, just because that cuts down the minimal time, right? So, like, but yeah, when you do just rote farming so much, we've done that before with events too, where we've both been like, I'm fucking done with this. I'm not dealing with this shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I perfectly understand that. Hey, guess what? I have done almost, other than what is required to pass the story for both parts of Summer 1, I have done no farming. I'm like, I'm not gonna farm for mats. I'm gonna wait for a fucking treasure chest. You know, because the daily quests are great because they give you shitloads of QP and they give you like 100 or 200 of currency at a time, and I'm just like, I'm not. So the part 1 wasn't as bad, but part 2 had some serious goobles on who improves what mat drops.
Yeah.
Where like you want to, the mat drops are increased by sabers in an archer node, and I'm like, why though? So I'm just like, nah, this is too tedious.
Yeah, for that, like, because actually that's where my bottleneck is right now, because last night I was able to, quote-unquote, finish farming part 1. Yeah, I know, we only got, like, 3 days left in the event. Just finished. And so, I move over to part 2, because, there's more embers and stuff. And I'm just sitting there looking at this, I'm like, why? Why, though?
Yeah, right now, lots of those treasure chest quests built up, though.
Oh, yeah, no, I got them, but I used them basically to finish the story, so I could build the island and
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, get the fuck out. We gone.
I will say I'm kind of glad, just for the clutter, that we talked about this before, but I am glad that spare copies of Skahak are quest-based, not point-based or store-based in this case.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
I haven't touched that.
No excess stuff. I'm not buying any extra copies of the store CEs just because I don't want to farm for them. And also, honestly, the Caldea Lifesavers isn't that great. Like, the amount of guts you get is pretty small. So, I mean,
I got one MLB, so I got Nightingale Lifeguard, and that is good stuff.
Yeah, like I kind of use Summertime Mistress sometimes, but at the same time I'm like, God, I don't want to farm for them though. You need like 300 per copy, even though I'm still crawling the CEs. I think spending tickets, I got like another MLB copy of the Boudica CE. Thanks, tickets. I'm crawling with bonus CEs. I'm just like, I don't need this in my life. I have Breath of the Wild to play, okay, kids? I've still got 1 Divine Beast left to go because I've been fucking around for like 2 days finding butterflies and stuff so these freaking great fairies can upgrade my armor. I have to be fashionable.
It is super important to be fashionable, okay?
But yeah, so also, I mean, I mostly skipped the story, but there were a couple of like different scenes I did in part 1 where I was like, oh, let's see what happens here because I've got the mats for this. I'll see what it is. And part 2, no. Fuck you, boars. I'm out of here. I'm just like, no.
I haven't done either challenge quest because I'm like I was mentioning this off mic, but I don't have time for this stress.
Oh, challenge quests were like, I don't think I'm gonna do the part 2. It's just some gold. It's just a gold foe. I'm like, I mean, I need them. They're not that common, but also one of just it's a bit like crystallized lores where it's just like just one is not worth it though.
Yeah.
Because they only do like 20 at a pop. So what was somebody did the math? It's really easy. I'm probably too sleepy for it, but it's what, 1,000 extra points?
Yeah, it's 1,000 extra points, so it's 5 times 10, so you need 50 of each.
Yeah, you need so like 1 out of 50, not a huge achievement. Also, you're correct. I bashed it on a calculator. So yeah, it's 1,000 divided by 20, but it's 50. So like I said, just one, not a big deal. I'm also probably not going to get the ones in the store because they're really expensive, but like I'm missing out on a few, but there will be there over time. And heck, I've only got like 2 or 3 servants at 1,000 anyway.
Really?
Yeah, I'm bad with buying foes from stores, but also I'm bad with consistently spending them. Like, the only servants I think I've made a super concentrated expert to 100% of the time actually max out are Mordred, Jean Alter, and Ishtar. So, like...
Yeah, like when we got the supplemental foes to get everyone that you had at 990 to 1,000, I think I had like 20-something. So...
Yeah, you're a bit better about foes than I am, but I'm better at leveling sometimes than you are. At least with what I got. I don't know. We should probably do the math on like who has more of what. But you definitely have done some interesting priorities with your leveling.
Lucky's weird, yo.
Anyway, so basically Summer 1 is like, it's kind of fun to go back to get those jokes. I built Maryland again. Karna stood on an elephant slide, and everybody was like...
Oh god, no, this reminds me. So, this is semi-unrelated, but semi-related. But motherfucking Paco, apparently he follows the English, global, FGO, because when we were playing it, he put out a fucking piece of art of Karna sitting on top of a slide that looks like Jinako, that looks like Ganesha.
Yeah, because Paco's a mad lad.
Yeah, and you can see in his tweets, it's all like just in time for the English, and we're like, Paco, you motherfucker!
Well, he has to know that he's huge.
Yeah.
But Paco's great. Draws really great art.
He really does. Go follow him on Twitter.
Yeah, so like there were little moments where I was like, haha, that's fun, and then most of the time it's just like, skip. I got shit to do. I gotta like power through 5 of these scenes before I can do a thing for a quartz. And like I did all the date quests for all the summoning tickets. I haven't really got anything out of them. They weren't very helpful, but I did them anyway, because they're tickets. And just, I don't know, reruns are kind of an up and down anyway, because sometimes it's like, oh, this is fun to do. Other times it's like, God, this is really tedious to do, so... Unfortunately, I think we talked about this loads. Like, go back and watch our older episodes on when Summer 1 was new. They'll be about a year old at this point. Go back in there, fire up that, and like check them out, because we have a lot of opinions about how Summer 1 is kind of fun, and then the part 2 really falls off.
Oh, yeah.
And the rerun doesn't do anything to help that. It's just like, oh hey, here's part 2, and also now the farming's a little fucked up, so
okay.
I'm gonna power through to get tickets and quartzes and a lore. And I'm going to buy some EXPs for my new Tan Mordred, and I'm going to go home. Literally, I'm going to go home. Well, that does remind me, I think I was talking about, like, everybody's like, oh, what will Summer 4 be? I was talking about, I mentioned that Summer 1 is basically Skahawk's Island, as in Gilligan's Island, because, you're lost on a desert island. But then I was like, just now I realized, oh, I kind of forgot to mention part 2, because most everybody does, but I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck that is. That's just... It starts as a Planet of the Apes joke, but I don't know.
With oars?
Was there a reference they were going for there, or what? I don't know. Like, this is the thing about pop culture. Sometimes you don't get references, and there's only so much the localization team can do to, like...
I think they were just trying to go for a city building sim there.
Yeah, I guess. I guess they just wanted to let you, like, oh, well, you built up the island. Well, why don't we... Because there are some fun references in there, like you can build Fuyuki Bridge and stuff, but... At the same time, it's still really weird. So, like, I don't know. Like, the meta plot with, like, his name is Welsh and I can't bother to pronounce it, but, Double T's, the Boar
Big Boar.
King. That's actually interesting. That's okay.
But they didn't do anything with it, honestly. It's like literally, it's a footnote at the end.
Well, yeah, they stretch it out way too long with, like, the quest and, like, God, why are these fucking boars here? Oh, it's the king who turned into a boar and got pushed out to sea because he was invincible. And then he ended up on Skahak's Island because she's actually Scottish, but it's tropical for some reason. Still don't get that. I don't know. They did a lot of weird stuff to actually make Summer kind of matter in the meta plot, only it still doesn't because it's still a Type Moon gag event, so it's still just a joke. Like, I'm hoping that Summer 2, it seems like, both parts will be a little bit more consistent, but also, like, from what I know, the story will actually be a little bit more directed in that respect. Like, obviously, there's a lot of excuse for just gags and stuff, and get ready, guys, there's a lot of memes coming. There's gonna be a lot of fun stuff, but we'll break all that down, probably next week when we talk about our first impressions. Because this seems like a good time to transition into news, unless you've got anything else you want to add about the Summer 1 rerun.
Nah, well, I'm still working on, we still got 3 days left, as I said, so I'm gonna try and work a bit more through the Matt store, just to get at some things, because there are, good stuff in there. Part 1, there was Divine 1. I was all like, give me that shit. And other things, bones, seed, pages, all that good shit. So, don't let our, our semi-whining about it, deter you. If you need something in that store, go fucking get it.
Yeah, and honestly, I did pretty good at the Part 1 store. I think it's because you get a little bit more time to do Part 1 than Part 2.
Yeah.
So, also that was pre-Switch, but anyway.
Yeah.
Also, before anybody asks, we'll probably talk about it more on What's Up. But no, I don't have 3 houses yet. I probably will get it at some point, but I'm kind of holding out on my monetary. I spent quite a lot of cash not only acquiring my Switch and Breath of the Wild, but also some other shit I needed. So I'm like, let's sit on my money.
Sit on it.
I'm a cautious spender, guys. I have an anxiety attack every time I spend $20. I'm like, did I need to spend that money? The answer is yes, you did, you dumbass. Anyway, that's a good transition to news. So I'm going to do the pregame, Lucky, and the news is very short. Why don't you deliver those 2 news bites to me real quick?
Alright, so over here in the global version, we have the announcement. Dead Heat Summer Race, the Ishtar Cups of Hopes and Dreams, running July 29th to August 20th. We have our Part 1 Summon Banner, which is SSR Caster Nero and SR Nito, Nobu, and Fran. The SRs are going to be rotated throughout the event. Basically, what's going to happen is, for the first few days, you're going to have all 4. They're going to switch to basically 1 each, and they're going to end on all 4 again, at the end.
Unlike
so you'll have chances.
Part 1 Summer, I went all of those things. So I'm almost back up to 400 quartz because I had over 400. I had 470, I think, when I started for Mordred, and I dumped in 90 or so. So I'm almost back up to because I got my 750 days is I think our latest number of days that people are hitting. So I hit that mark for me, and I'm like, so I'm almost back up to 400, and I'm like, I'm going all in. I'm not spending on anything if I get all 4 and a decent number of CEs and I have quartz left, maybe I'll be like, I'll try for Rider Maid in a week. But otherwise, I'm like, I don't have anything to do until Christmas, so fuck it. Big rolls, everybody.
Lucky is in a similar position with a little over 400 crowns, but he also has 69 tickets.
You do. You have nice amounts of tickets. There has been occasional dick measuring contests in our Discord. I'm still wondering if technically if Discord will be mad at us or not if we make a quartz dick emote.
When I said that, people were like, "God damn it, Lucky! Now quartz dick is now in my search history," and I cackled with tyranny and glee. So as I said, we're gonna give you the full pregame below, but in addition to that, there will also be additional EXPs in the Mana Prism shop until the 4th.
Yes, I believe this is in excess of the usual monthly renewal, so that's good. I need those XPs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need those XPs a lot if I get somewhere between 1 to 4 new servants.
Lucky is reaffirming his stance that he wants all the Summer 2 servants. With 69 tickets and like 400 quartz, maybe he can do it. Who knows? But enough of that for right now, as we take a break and we go overseas to the JPs, where just last night it was announced for the FGO 4th Year Fest that will begin on August 4th, stream on the 3rd. Mm-hmm. That all those sweet ass costumes they've been posting and shit. Guess what? They're CEs, and the memorial quest will return. And completing that will get you two CEs. Two out of 39. Everyone, just rip, just die.
Yeah, I was like, you may now cry.
Yeah, you may now cry. God damn it. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing that bugs me the most is that this isn't rerun. It's like you just get like the 1 year. Like next year, it's all like, oh, here you go, 2 more. You don't get like 2 more.
They're only settled. Like I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they'll be like, oh, it's been 4 years. Here, you can buy the first year ones in the Rare Prism shop. I don't know. Like right? Because usually they do these little quality of life, but still, at the moment, there's no rotation for these, and there's 39 of them. So it's like you get 2 and you're fucked. And I'm already looking at. They've only revealed half of them. I'm already looking at the list. And I'm like, shit, dude, don't reveal anymore. No, don't. It's already really bad.
It's like, I feel like they should just be a fucking Rare Prism shop. It's like, here, just buy a fucking Anniversary. You got spare Rare Prism? Buy a CE. I cry. The Lightworks put me on your team. I got good ideas. Mm-hmm. But as I said, so we're a little less than a week out from the anniversary. As I said, as usual, the stream is probably going to be double dark early in the morning. Mega, you gonna try and make an effort to stay up for it?
I don't know. Do we know what time it'll be Eastern?
I think, if I check the schedule, I think it's gonna be like 4 a.m. your time.
I mean, I'll probably be awake, but I'll be like, should be going to sleep? I don't know. My sleep schedule's been a little goofy lately. I will probably want to be asleep, so we'll see whether or not.
I think, if I remember correctly, I think it's gonna start, well, I'll use, Eastern time. I think it's gonna start like 4:20 a.m. and end around 5:20 a.m. if I remember correctly. But as I said, I'll be making the effort to stay up and watch it. Because as I said, this is the anniversary. They're gonna have a lot of stuff to talk about. As I said, they already got they have a big list of guests. They have Mafia emceeing as he always does.
Yeah, what I'll probably do is I'll probably do like I did the last time there was a big. I think it was the Lost Belt 4 stream, and just catch the archive the next morning and kind of skim. Because that's the unfortunate problem is you're like if you've got like a huge guest list on the panel, then that's going to mean like extra faffing around time, and I'm like if it's going to be at like 4 a.m., I'm not going to be up for like 30 minutes of faff or an hour of faff at the beginning. I'm going to be like, I need to sleep, Japan.
Like how dare? I don't know. I'll do what I did last time. Get some sweet screens, take pics.
But yeah, so let's we're all excited, and we'll probably talk about that, like I said, in 2 weeks, because our next show will be the 2nd, and I don't know if I want to really delay it or anything, because we'll have plenty to talk about. Because we'll do So You Didn't Get That 5-star next week. I'm gonna have to work my butt off this weekend to put it a 1 in time, because I should note that starts the 29th is after maintenance, so maintenance will actually be on the 28th, and then several hours later, it will be the 29th, and the event will start. So it starts early in the morning of Monday. But yeah, do we want to talk about the CE arts at all, or do you think we've done that enough just talking about the designs in the past?
Well, I think the thing to talk about is that we said 39. If you guys realize, they haven't shown 39. That means they literally shown like a little less than half of that. So there are literally I want to say like almost 18 just question marks, and I'm just like, how very dare.
Hey, listen, they gotta have you. They gotta get you anticipating. The fact that they've revealed any of them at all is like nuts.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm salty. I'm salty because like honestly, like all the fucking designs that they've already shown are real good. So I completely expect that all the ones that they're gonna show are gonna be just as good.
Yeah, okay, that's in this one. So that's the whole thing. So like, let's see, have they shown exactly? No, they've shown. Well, they might have. Okay, hold on. I'm like 39, so it's not even. So I'm looking at their display and I'm like, you couldn't round this up to 40. You couldn't give me what is it, 8 rows of 5? So I think it is exactly half because it's like 3 rows of 5 and then one row that's only got 2, but the last row only has 4. So
who knows? Maybe they did this for 40, but the last artist wasn't able to make it in time. So they're like, well,
possible.
fuck it.
I don't know. Or maybe maybe like they give you like one as a guarantee. Maybe like maybe they'll give you one of like MASH or something for free.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll see. Because I do believe there is actually. I don't. Well, I'm not 100% sure because it's Google Translate. I think they said something about you'll get one if you do all the Memorial Quest.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, Google Translate confuses me sometimes. I'm like,
yeah, these are Google Translate calls these by the way, limited time concept escort British remembrance. I'm like, what the fuck?
I was so confused.
What does that mean? But the ones we can see, because remember, these are for all the different areas of the quote-unquote Chaldea Park. So there's like the sports one, there's Achilles, there's Estrella, there's the very dangerous Maid Abigail with her little key broom. There's, I guess that's just Jean having a good time. There's Yan King, there's Okada in like a samurai costume. The two ones that I'm super psyched about right now are right next to each other, so there's Asakabe Hime in like a Halloween witch costume, and then there's, I mean, it's lazy, but it's her choices are lazy, but it's still a Consort UCE in her like little sun hat thing. I'm like, and then is that? I think these are a little low res. I think that's Sherlock next, in like a fanciful outfit. You've got Skeleton Sanson, you got Emperor Qin Shi Huang. You've got, I think with the headband, that's a Sitanai. You've got, of course, everybody's favorite, the Raita drawing, the Jiangxi Shuten Doji.
Mm-hmm.
Who's that next guy? Is that Deerwood? I think it is. It's hard to tell in his formal wear because it's like his hairstyle differently. There's Parvati in a little like Tanuki ears and tail, like she's directing an animal tour. She's like a park attendant. Yeah. Yeah. There's Western Martha. I think it's also Western Summer Martha. And then there's Formal Boy Robin giving you a nice salute. And then, like I said, there's 3, 15, 18. 18 plus 4 is 22. So there's 22 of these left.
Oh my god, it's more than half. I forgot, what does Consort Yu's husband's name?
Zhang Yu.
Zhang Yu. Me and one of our Discord members were talking about how, like, slain we're gonna be if there's a Zhang Yu one, and it matches with the Consort Yu one.
I mean, he's a weird, scary, like, Dark Souls centaur man. I don't know if you can put a costume on that.
I know, but how great if they did.
if they just put because she's kind of summer themed, like I think she's from, like, the water park part.
Just put, like, sunglasses and a Hawaiian shirt on him.
I was gonna say, just put a little pool floating around his torso.
Yes!
With some sunglasses, of course. Yeah. Okay. We'll see. We'll see what happens. There's, like I said, there's about a week before this happens, and there's like 22 of them left.
Oh, that's a big hurt. I have to deliberate over this for like the next 2 years.
Yeah, we've got a lot of deliberating to do.
I will tell you right now, instant fucking slay, Lady Murasaki, if that shows up.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know how they're breaking these up. I'm like trying to check. Have they had any of the artists double up? Because I don't see like 2 Wad Arcos, and I don't see 2 Raitas yet.
Okay, I can't. Like, I don't.
No, wait, they did double up because Qin Shi Huang and Estrella are both on there, and they both have the same artist. So yes, we could be danger zone because Raita could have drawn multiple of these.
Oh, here.
But yeah, so. I wonder, I really hope they give, because the main characters have a costume for this, I really hope they give us that as a Mystic code. We need more Mystic codes. And we've got our little park attendant hat, and it's adorable. But anyway, so that's that news. Let's see, how long have we been going? How long have we been doing? We've been doing this for 30 minutes. That's good. It's a good time. You see, I've delayed this so that you had to stick around for 30 minutes and possibly be served some more ads, so that we can do the pregame. Actually, I don't know. I should double check closer. I assume YouTube's tucks some mid rolls in here automatically because that's how they do. I have no idea where those go, so you may or may not have. Also, I don't know. We're probably not in the middle of the episode yet, so you may or may not have seen a mid roll. Who knows?
I do wish that was something that YouTube let us control, is actually where the ads would go.
They can. We can insert them all manually, but that means you have to do literally everything manually. YouTube suggested is usually pretty balanced. Like, nobody's reported to me they're seeing a lot of ads.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
Well, that's good.
That's a different topic. Alrighty. So, let's move to Call Day of Free Talk and talk about Summer 2, Dead Heat Summer Race. Let's do the pregame. Now, play your Unz music,
Yeah.
Alright. So, Summer. This is a special race event. There will be 4 rounds of racing, in both parts. To support the team you like, well, first of all, get on our Discord. More on that later. Haha. You will perform what I edited this slightly because they actually made the news article announcement. You will perform cheer quests to support your favorite team and use special items to boost battle performance and how much cheer you give. Based on the finishing, different mats will be given out. So here's pro tip number 1, because it's been pointed out in like guides and stuff. So technically, to get the mat rewards, because that'll be what the thing is you get for a team winning, is they'll give specific mats. You have to have supported that team at least once. So everybody, remember to make sure and go through and do at least one quest for each team, even if you're just farming for like event drops or whatnot, so that you actually guarantee you get the rewards. Because some people are sellouts and will only do what mats they need. So, yeah.
You can't see me, but I just gave some massive side eye to our Discord channel.
So I'll explain that right now. Similar to Guda Guda Meiji Ishin, I enabled teams basically. So there's a little special role display. I've organized it so that they display at the top with new fancy colors and titles, so you can see who's in what team. And I let everybody know that you can only to pick one team, because otherwise I will have to punish you for making me swatch stuff. So somebody did want to switch, and he wanted to switch for mats. So I have also created the 7th team, Team Sellout, which is depicted right at the top there. So everybody in our Discord can see who the sellouts are.
Shame, shame, shame.
But yeah, so if you are in our Discord and haven't seen that yet, just hop into technical and feedback and drop me a line. Or post one of the new emotes, because Lucky's a madman, and he took the little icon art and translucentified it.
Yeah.
So we have new emotes for all the new teams, which are probably going to stay until we get bored of them.
Mm-hmm. As I said, I've been putting that Clip Studio, Paint Studio to good use.
And also, we're, boosted on Nitro, so I think we've still got, 45 emoji slots left.
Yeah.
And that's with us just throwing whatever the fuck we want at the wall. Like, last night I made a yellow sign emote just because somebody posted a very good cutout of the yellow sign. I'm like, I can make that transparent.
Yeah, someone posted an image of Robin dabbing. I'm like, I might turn that into an emote later. Let's see here. Yeah, so actually, looking at my things, there's a lot of ones I just posted here. Yeah, so we have all the teams. I added a couple of Stofo ones. Omega added Duel.
Yeah, I stole that. We were doing Yu-Gi-Oh memes, and somebody posted a default emoji face, but with a handful of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I'm like, I'm stealing that. I don't care if I'm stealing it. I'm stealing it. I need this.
Let's see, I put in a Tamama. Oh, for a while we've had an Ada Ada. And we need a Ma Ma. So I was like, I'm gonna make me a Ma Ma emote right here. So now people can go Ada Ada Ma Ma.
Exactly. I think I said that. I was like, yeah. I really need us to find something that qualifies as a Ma Ma emote, because every time somebody says Ada Ada, I want to put that after.
Yep.
We have a lot of dabs.
There's a lot of dabs. We have a BB dab, and we have a King Protea dab. Might be a Robin dab later. I made a ya boy emote from that what was it, Ghost Hunters?
Is it Ghost Adventure? I don't know. It's the Ghost Hunting show that's got the lovely meme clip now, which is Hey there, demons, it's me, your boy.
No one uses it, but I'm still happy with it.
When I find a reason to use it, I'll use it. We're up to 3 sips now, because you added Han sip, as well as the pre-existing Altera and Tama sip, which people are correctly using in different ways. Like, Han sip is like the sip and the tea, and then Altera sip is like the quietly sipping to yourself, and then Tama sip is like, this gives me life.
So I would like to think that our emote game is on point now.
It's very strong. Let's see, is there anything we need to refine?
I'm thinking I have to refine Dragon Mom, since
that's the only old one I saved, because I'm like, I can't get rid of this.
As soon as I find like a better Tiamat image.
Nobody really uses Commander Ticket, but I like the images.
Same.
Friendship does get used a lot.
Friendship gets used a lot.
Hoo Boy gets used a lot. Nani gets used a lot. Nobody's really using the icons for card types right now, especially since we added the cursed one. But I think they're still really good to have.
I know people use the Buster one.
They use them occasionally, so I think it's okay, because it's like, oh, somebody's talking about Quick. I'm going to put Quick emotes on there.
Yeah. Phrasing gets used semi-regularly.
Mm-hmm. Goldlin is used a lot.
Mm-hmm.
WoW is used a lot.
Yorokobe.
Mm-hmm. That's another new one. I don't know if people are using the Cha-Cha-Cha one a lot, but I just was like, I'll turn that into an emote. Whatever. It's a little small.
Emotes are fun. I did not understand the joys of emotes until this.
No, and actually, honestly, well, they'd have to be original ones, but this is very off topic considering we're doing Summer 2 pregame, but technically YouTube has opened us up to, like, memberships now, which is kind of like subbing on Twitch, where, like, you can get access to certain streams and videos and stuff, but also you can get, like, badges and emoji. And I'm like, at some point, I'd like to crack this open and figure this out. But they're like, you have to upload badges and emotes. And I'm like, I don't want to do that right now. But if we make sure we have some originals, because people would be paying for it, we could probably integrate some of these into like YouTube and stuff. For low prices, don't worry. Okay.
Thomas Shock now?
Yes, which is also being used a lot. we have a lot of reaction images emotes because you can react with emotes, so they're very popular. Where was I? Okay, so that was all about the races and stuff. Remember your mats. So you'll get temporary Ishtar in Part 1 and get her permanently along with the Grail in Part 2, so remember you have to do the whole thing. I think that was actually a meme in JP when this came out, like 2 years ago, by the way. When this first happened in Japan, we just started this show.
Yep.
I think that was like episode 2 or 3, I used the image for that as like the backdrop, the thumbnail. So the first 3 finishers in each round will give a specific mat to all players. Additionally, for all the cheer points you give in battle, you will receive QP. So, farm lots.
Farm a lot. Support your races.
Yes, the top half will get prizes. So you don't have to be super competitive. You know, like if you're... Obviously, you want to win, because I think there are like unique splash screens and stuff. I'm pretty sure the story does not change, because I've looked at the story quests and stuff, and they're very random about what supports they do. I don't think they're tied to who won what rounds, so I don't think the story changes, but we'll see. So if you're using a boost item, the amount of cheer points you give will be multiplied by 2, and if it's the team's favorite item, it'll be multiplied by 3. The items you're looking for are Buster Octane, Arts Nitro, and Quick Oil. I went a little monster truck there, but I was... maybe I should try to be a little speed racer. Oh! Buster Octane!
Buster Octane!
Arts Nitro! Quick Oil! Ah! He crashes and explodes. So that's in Part 1, and in Part 2, they're not as funny. You're looking at Star Spoons, NP Hammers, and Calorie Meat. Which I don't know.
I'm sorry,
what that
I still laugh at MP Hammers.
It is a little funny, but we'll see. I don't know if that'll probably have a slightly different translation. And you can look up who the teams are, but it should be pretty apparent who likes what. Hey, guess what? I think it's, let's see, it's by NPs basically. So like, Team Fran likes Quick, and so on. I'll double check real quick. That'll be another pro tip for you. But like I said, it should be pretty easy to figure out just on instinct. So if you're like, I don't quite remember, let's see, it'll be so okay, so it's not necessarily the perfect thing. So like Team Fran is Quick Oil, and so is Team Nobu. Arts is Desert Beauty and Helena's team, and then Buster is Tyrant and Public Decency. So main quests are pretty easy. Following the story will be pretty easy. You'll basically be doing these either in the lead up to rounds or between the 4 rounds of racing. There are several sections as 0 AP, no battles, they're just story. In part 1, there's basically 5 real battles and 4 sync courts. Bosses will use break bars, but none of these bars go over 100k HP, so it's not like super difficult. It just kind of like breaks up your length a little bit. Expect to fight a lot of archers, berserkers, riders, and there will be an Avenger boss. So it's time for BB to shine. Part 2 is longer. There are more fights overall, which will get you 8 Saint Courts. Expect to fight more Avengers, more Riders, more Berserkers, and now several Assassins. The HP levels are about the same. This happens a lot with summer events. The only thing you need to do is clear Fuyuki, so like it's pretty entry tier. We'll see, for instance, after we've had our anniversary, if this is like the first event a new slew of players play. There are bonus servants, but luckily all servants increase the drops of all 3 currency, thank God. The currency you're looking for are mag wheels, metal sheets, and parts, and that's a little loud, Lucky.
Sorry, phone.
Alright, do we need to pause for a second here, or are you okay?
No, good, I just declined it.
Alright. Wasn't important.
I think I mentioned this, Lucky doesn't do with certain social obligations.
No, it's like, what the fuck is my phone ringing? No, fuck you.
Go away.
They drop all three of the things. You're looking for junk parts, sheets, and metal wheels. The new summer servants are +2. The rest of the servants are +1. So the full list is, obviously, you're looking at Summer Nero, Summer Fran, Summer Ishtar, Summer Medjed, that's Nito, that's a joke, Summer Nobu, Maid Altar, Summer Helena, Summer Mama, and all Summer 1 servants. Also, you're looking at, for part 1 anyway, Orion, Moriarty, Tesla, MHX, Sanzo, Scheherazade, Adelante, Edison, Penth, Boudica, and Babbage. Some of those may seem weird to you. You will see later why. But the usual rule with servants that are bonus servants is that they're in the event. So, the Shop CE increases all drops by 1 to max limit break. The Banner CEs, both sets, so they both work for this, improve their tier of mat by 2, MLB 3. So, for instance, the 5-star gold CE improves the highest tier of drop by 2, 3, max limit break, etc. Also, yes, both shops only have 4 copies of their CE. You may now begin praying for that drop. And also, it's important to notice, in case it wasn't clear from me reading that bullet point, that the shop CEs are only good for their event. They don't cross over between the 2 parts. But they do give you all mat drops, so. This is also true of part 2, basically, but the drops are now coins, ramen, and candy. One of these things is not like the other. The shop CEs do not cross over, as noted above, but the ones on the summon banners do, so if you blow a shitload on part 1, you're okay for part 2. The CEs still count. And the bonus servants are not quite the same. So I'm not going to spoil like who gets dropped as what, but basically part 2 drops all the servants that were exclusive to part 1. So anybody who was involved in the story there is lost, and adds new servants, Enkidu, Ketz, Maeve, Carmilla, Nightingale, Yan King, and Gorgon. You may now realize why I talk about some of those bosses. Summer servants and the teammates to those teams. For instance, spoiler, Helena's team is Satisfaction HTE. The H stands for Helena, the T stands for Tesla, and the E stands for Edison. So, that's why those guys are bonus servants. They'll remain the same all throughout. So let's talk about the shops. The shops are great, but the part 1 shop includes the usual mana prisms, EXPs, foes, including a gold foe of each type. The bonus items and mat upgrades, so if you there'll be drops and stuff for it, but if you need some more Quick Oil or Buster Octane, you can buy it. It includes, various things to improve that. It also includes Ishtar's Ascension mats, so that's how you ascend your temporary Ishtar. That's all in that store. You're looking at statues, both gold and silver types, in case you don't know what I mean by statues, of sabers, casters, assassins, and berserkers. Gee, I wonder why. You will also be looking at spinal fluid, stingers, feathers, shells, lanterns, lenugos, pages, grease, and wine. So that's a big spread there. You can also exchange boost items for QP after the races are finished. Thumbs up. The Part 2 shop is similar, but you are getting Archer, Rider, and Lancer statues. Again, gee, I wonder why. Fangs, shells, hero proofs, bloodstones, gears, snake gems, medals, lamps, and gallstones. So very diverse mats in both shops. So to talk about free quests and farming a little bit, since we just talked about shops, free quests are divided into 4 tiers per round. There are 4 rounds. There's 1 set for each team. And you're looking at 10, 25, 40, and 40. I believe the final 40 is only available after the rounds are all done. That's like the extra bonus one. So there'll be 3 tiers normally. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I've heard. Once the race is finished, so all 4 parts have finished, all previous versions of all the free quests are unlocked. Because basically, they're going to rotate every round. There'll be a new set every round. Mm-hmm. So it's 4 tiers, 4 rounds, 1 for each team. Obviously because you're cheering them. And then you'll be able to go back to whichever one you need for the previous parts after the race is done. This is the same for Part 2. So, since we're talking about them, I'll mention the teams that you are supporting. So we've got Tyrannical Shooting Star. This is Summer, Alter, and Nero. We've got Team Electric's team, featuring Papa. This is Fran, Moriarty, and Babbage. Babbage is a train, yes. We've got this. By the way, I'm kind of glad they translated it because I understand what it's going for, but it's super long in both languages. You've got the Prefect of Public Decency and Monk Sanzang team. This is Sanzo and Raiko. Satisfaction HTE, Helen Tesla Edison, like I explained last time. This is another super long one that they translated it pretty well. The Killer Demon King of the Xth Heaven. This is Nobu and MHX. And then Team Desert Beauty, Nito and Scheherazade. So, we already talked about kind of the summon banners before, but banner 1 is SSR Summer Nero, who is a caster, and then you've got Summer Fran Saber, Summer Nobu Berserker, and Summer Nito Assassin. Banner 2, which should start in about a week, along with Part 2, will be SSR Rider Alter, who is a Rider, and then Summer Helena and Summer Raiko, who are an Archer and Lancer, respectively. There will also be a 3rd part banner, which will feature a rate-up on Maeve, Shez, and Babbage, and both sets of CEs. This is probably better in the rerun, because you've probably got your chance for stuff, and you're probably trying to finish off your CE collection or whatever, but hey. And also this event will feature Maeve's Warden costume, so keep an eye out for that. That'll probably be available in the shop in Part 2. But yeah, super fun.
This is going to be super fun. I'm excited. I like new event.
Yeah, and this will be really good to read this script. I'm very interested.
Yeah. They mentioned in the announcement that basically Ishtar's gonna come to your room, say there's an emergency, and tell you not to tell anybody. So, I don't know about you, but that instantly makes me go, instantly.
Sus.
I'm sus as fuck right now, Ishtar, but you cute, so I do.
And yeah, so it sounds more complex than it is. I had to read some of these parts over and over again, but at the same time, it was okay, I think I get it. It just sounds more complex. When you're looking at it on the map, once we actually get the event screen, it should be pretty self-explanatory, because you'll be able to see all the stuff. And we'll just have to see who wins.
Yeah, I don't know, it might end up like JP did, because I do know that if you go on the wiki, they do list the winners from their winners from before, so I'm curious to see if it'll actually be any.
Yeah, because for instance, we can talk about some of the drops in round 1. The mats you're looking at, if they pass the 3 pillars mark, is that Tyrannical Shooting Star gives you scarabs. Fran's team will give you grease. Raiko's team will give you seashells. Helena's team gives you chains. MHX team gives you feathers, and Desert Beauty will give you fangs. And there's more of them like throughout, so there's a little bit of everything. They're only 5, so it's not a huge deal. I don't personally think. Like, not necessarily a farming, because like farming in FreeQuest is really shitty, but like dedicated drop nodes and like stores are way better. But still, it's 5 of them you might need. It's nothing to sneeze at. So expect to see like some people will obviously change who they're repping. And unfortunately, there is a thing where some teams have better nodes than others. So you might see some people just for the sake of the ease of farming. They like move teams. Mostly, I'm probably going to support the team I like all the way through. And just hope that I get enough currency, I guess, and like wait for the races to finish before I get serious. Because then you can access all the free quests, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that guide is already pinned in our Discord channel.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
I wasn't even looking.
No, it's up there at the top. And I'm not sure whether or not I want to... We still got a few days. I know people are doing it. I don't want to unpin the guides for Summer 1.
Well, it happened once Summer 1 is officially over.
Yep.
I'm still using that guide.
Mm-hmm. I haven't used it recently. Let's see. What's our time at? We're about 53. We can make it go for a little bit longer. So basically, that's all the details you need to know about the event. Like, I know we give the spoiler warnings, but for the sake of like keeping some of it fresh, I don't like to reveal too much. But there will be a lot of interesting screen caps that come out of this, and there'll be some stuff. There'll be some funs.
I'm excited. Like I said, usually writing on these events is pretty solid. Like, I'm just worried. I think my biggest worry story wise is that we're gonna have a part 2 problem with Summer 2's part 2. From what I know of the script, I don't think so, because the story is not actually solved by part 1, right? So it's the same plot. It's effectively the same plot contiguously. Mm-hmm. But also, there are a lot of good writing moments and screens that are in part 2. So I'm like, no, I think the more thing that'll be concerning, I think, will be mechanical burnout, because we have to do 8 phases of these races. And then we can, like, freely farm. So it's kind of like a time lock event, you know? Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that'll get tedious for people, or if it'll get tedious for me. Like, if it's spaced out, that's good, because Lucky's playing a fuck ton of gacha games right now.
Well, yeah, so it's basically, I think it goes until your team completes a round, I think there's a point requirement. Mm-hmm. And then it'll, like, I presume it resets. I don't know if it'll move into the next phase, but you can at least wait, because you have to play, like, story quests in between each phase. And so on.
Yeah.
And, like, it's a bit like a Raid 2, where if you want to just, fuck off and sleep or watch anime or whatever for a few hours, like, it'll take care of itself, it'll do what it'll do, And unfortunately, there will be some people who will be supporting teams who are probably just getting crushed. Not that you shouldn't, rep who you want to rep, but, there will definitely be a weight of players in certain directions.
Yeah.
At least I will say this: there is at least one person, and I think multiple people now, in every team on our Discord.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get final numbers, as it only shows them when they're online. But
yeah, some people got their requests in while they were invisible. I was like, did I add you? You didn't pop in. You must be you're clearly online because you typed something, but you must be invisible because I can't see you.
You hiding from them internet popos.
But yeah, and I think all the colors work. There was a little bit of ask about the yellow, because I was I was like, okay, all right, I dialed the saturation down a little bit in the brightness, because I don't want to be full blown on some of the colors, like that's I even did this as a joke. I dialed it up to like full yellow. I'm like, I mean, it could be worse. It could be this for like half a second.
As someone whose regular role is maximum blue, as I like to say, it's kind of hard for me to notice.
Yeah, but I stepped back the saturation a little bit, and a lot of the others are defaultish colors.
Defaultish.
So, like, Desert Beauty is dark purple. I decided to go with pink for Electrical Steam, because I know they're kind of quick-faced, but it's Fran. So it was either that or, like, a light blue, and light blue is a color we use a lot, so... we already have some discussion about our blues. Killer Demon King is Nobu's dark red. It's the same color that Team Nobu was in Meiji Ishin. Prefect of Public Decency is blackish. Like, I think it might be a dark red or purple technically, but it's, somewhere in the black or gray scale. Satisfaction HTE is a light purple, and then, like I said, Tyrannical Shooting Star is... I wanted us to be kind of a brightish red at first, but I'm like, no, a more goldy color works better, because I know, like, Nira's red and white, but Maid Alter's also in this team, so, like, let's go with a blondie type color. Which might be slightly greenish, because there's no yellow default in Discord. Like, the default yellow is, like, gold, so I had to do some adjusting, and hey, every time you close the roll tab, Discord forgets what your custom color is, so I'm like, is this what I picked last time? So, hopefully we're more yellowish than greenish. I had to do some work. But okay, that's that. So we didn't really talk about it on What's Up last week, but there was a new episode of Case Files.
Oh, yeah.
So we can talk about that a little bit. That was Case Files number 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, if you watched that episode and you were confused by some of those words Waver was slinging around, check out the episode we did literally last week.
We actually had people thanking us for the explanation on the Mages Association.
Yeah, because it turned out to be super relevant. I thought it would be, which is probably why it won, but I was like, wow, that's like a 0-point turnaround time. Literally the day we made that public was like, oh, here's a Case Files episode that's, like, full of Mage Association politics and shit. I'm like, perfect. Wow. Perfect timing. So if you haven't seen that one yet, go into the back half of that episode, Teach Me Omega Sensei. You can tell where it starts because I actually split the graphic. Which some people asked me where I got that. That was posted multiple times on our Discord by fans who were like, you may need to put this image in your episode. And I'm like, okay, I'll put the image in the episode. Like, it's a good image to have, and I think I had it saved already for personal use, but, like, you know, that's at the same time it was like, no, there was a definite push from people just like, golly, this is complicated, you should put this in, Mr. Omega. And I'm like, okay. But not like K with a Q, but like K with like a K. Que paso?
Que paso? But see, yeah, honestly, I think the latest episode was specifically most off to show more of, I want to say, Waver's students. I would say in this case.
There was a big classroom scene where you got to see lots of extras.
I do enjoy that, even though Waver is not a servant, he is still strong enough to pick up a kid by his fucking head and shake him around.
And threaten to basically one of the other girls is like, it's his iron claw. You're like, he's gonna crush this kid's head.
And like immediately after that, something goddamn amazing is we get our fucking Luvia cameo.
Yeah, she's in Waver's class.
Yeah, I know. But like some people weren't sure like exactly.
Yeah, because that's a good question. Is like, because I think we mentioned this before. Some of the different volumes of the light novel basically have different guest stars.
Yeah.
So there was a question of if we'd see enough Luvia in this plot arc.
And Luvia apparently did some investigations, and now we have actually pinpointed when this anime is taking
there's
place.
I think it's the post-credit scene, but it's like, they actually pinpoint when in the timeline it is. This is important, because I believe canonically, Grail War 5 takes place in 2004, when FSM was originally released.
Mm-hmm.
And so Waver actually has a discussion with Renez and Luvia, or they're at like the coffee shop, because apparently he was interested in going back for another round. He was going back for round 2. And he was informed by Luvia that both of the Mage Association slots were taken. Hey, here's an extra fun fact for you trivia kids. Do you want to know who the 2 guys on the Mage Association slots were? It was Bazette and Medea's Master, who both died and jobbed immediately. So it was super pointless. It makes me feel really bad for Waver, because I'm like, wow, that's just... So not only did you miss your opportunity, even in this timeline, but also just, you missed out for those scrubs? Well, Bazette's not really a scrub, but she does job super hard.
Well, I mean, she was, like, immediately, like, she was jobbed by fucking Kyrie. Which,
well, yeah, Kyrie,
to be fair...
Kyrie fucking shanked her to get a slot in the Grail War for himself, but still, like, that just shows you how much of a badass Kyrie is, because he took out Bazette, who is, like... Well, first of all, it's important to note that this comes up. Bazette is a human, a modern human, who owns a noble phantasm. It's an extension of her family's magecraft, but, like, it is preserved by her bloodline. She has an honest-to-God original noble phantasm in her possession. It's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Just think how broken Shiro is for having Avalon embedded in his torso somewhere. Don't ask us how that works, by the way, because we know that would fit because he was a kid.
I don't know. I think it's like a metaphysical concept.
It's magic. Nasu doesn't have to explain shit.
It's like first it was shoved into fucking
Somebody make me a Merlin either edit or like redraw of that classic image. Just a Merlin with like flowers coming out of his hands. It's magic. I ain't got to explain shit. Because Merlin would say that. He would just be like, dude, magic.
It's illusion. But yeah, so like I said again, like this is the thing I'm enjoying most about Case Files is while Waver tries really hard to seem like to be this cold, standoffish, strict and stern fellow, it shatters so fucking easily.
Well, yeah, because this is still. Let's see. Do we know how old Waver was in 4?
He's like if it's 10 years, he has to be like in his mid-20s.
Yeah, he's still in his 20s somewhere because he's obviously a teenager in 0, and we know for a fact that Holy Grail War 5 was exactly 10 years after 4. It's supposed to be weird and fucked up. They're not supposed to happen this frequently.
Yeah. So he tries to put off this aura of like I'm this calm, collected adult, but anytime shit hits the fan, he's grabbing students by the face and like shaking them around and screaming about his coffee shop.
Yeah, he is the cool teacher, but also he's not. Or the reason why I think he's the cool teacher is not because he's like, what's up, fellow kids. He actually is still only like obviously overwork has aged him because Waver doesn't take vacations, constantly busy. But
his debt. Fuck.
Also, he heavily smokes now, all the time.
Yeah, he does.
Coffee and cigars all the time, constantly keeps him alive. But yeah, so like he's still only, like we said, he can only be in like his mid-20s. We do get some good, you get a lot of good boy Flat in this, which is good. Flat's fun. Maybe someday there'll be a strange fake anime.
Yeah, you gotta remember, everyone might not understand. Flat is what is known as a goddamn idiot savant.
So actually, this is important to his character because he discusses it a lot, but it bounces off a point where we talked about where, mages, the default mage is a terrible person, as seen in this episode. So Flat is like, you guys are the only guys that treated me like a person and not a weirdo. It's because Flat has shitloads of magic circuits. He's like a really potent and talented mage. He is like basically the reverse of a sociopath, right? Like for mages, the default is more sociopathic and focused on the, no emotional response, focused on the goal. We're gonna do root stuff. Woo, root. Flat is not that. So he's more like Rin comes across, where like he's just a normal, functional, happy child, and so his parents think that he's like an alien because he's a really strong mage. He just doesn't act like it. So normal mages treat him like a freak, but Waver and Co. treat him normal-ish.
Yep.
Which is why he's so fun. I really want to get the episode focusing on, I can only think of what Gray calls him, Liz Chen, but Wolf Boy. Because I'm
apparently,
what's your deal,
bro? I don't
bro?
know if that's his magic or he's actually a werewolf, but,
I assume because they talked about the zoology department that's just his magecraft trait, his sorcery trait is wolf stuff. Because that's actually kind of explained. I was like, I like in the episode where I'm like, zoology department, details unknown. Oh, hey, here's a rando. The anime uses a rando scrub from the zoology department as an episode villain. I'm like, perfect. It explains this perfectly. He's using animal stuff to do stuff. And also, I like that it shows what Waver's department is all about, because he's like, yo, I'm the department of modern magecraft. Dude, bro, you know the internet's a thing, right? Like, Twitter and shit, and the mage is just like, what? This would have been perfectly normal 100 years ago. I'm like, yeah, dude, it's not 100 years ago. Technology happened, there's this thing called social media, so you're fucked, dude. I'm gonna call the policies department, and you're gonna get busted for breaking our number one rule.
Mm-hmm. I got papers.
After he got his ass kicked by an electric rat. Because references. But yeah, so the episode's really good. We get to see Case Files Cowles, who is apparently a huge weeb, because he's got I I think he's got the version of Fran and Babbage from Babbage's Interlude, like Super Robot Fran and Babbage, as a poster on his wall. It's super amazing. We got to see Luvia. Rennis was very smug, as always.
Yep.
But also,
Not
if
smug.
you're curious why, because at the end of Unlimited Blade Works anyway, which secretly I'm hoping, because I feel like at some point we'll get some kind of like retroactive cameo, because I know that it's established that Waver shows up after the Grail War ends. Like, I believe, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but I believe that this is just a general idea. It's known because he even talks about this in the Zero collab. He helps Rin basically disassemble the Fuyuki ritual.
Because Rin becomes Waver's student and registers Emiya as her familiar of all.
Yeah, he's basically her follower.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if that's, like, ever's been actually covered in actual case files, though.
Yeah, I don't know, because that seems, on the one hand, that seems like the kind of cameo that they would do, but at the same time, also, those are, really important core characters, and this is not about them.
Yeah, they're taking, I think they're, from what, like, as I said, with the understanding, they're taking a little bit of liberties with the story writing, but they're still following some main arcs.
So I'm expecting maybe a cameo. Personally, I think the way the opening scene was, like, what that's all about, I really hope we're following the Unlimited Blade Works route, because one, that would mean Shiro and Rin go to the clock tower, but also that would mean that, considering the baggage Waver has, it would probably be deeply satisfying for him to know that Gil got his ass kicked by a Japanese high school kid.
Like, honestly, like, resolution-wise, like, I'm still pretty sure that fucking Unlimited Blade Works is the best.
Yeah, especially in animated form. Like, it's got one of the better, but that's what I'm thinking, like, because remember, the opening is the Battle of Fuyuki Bridge, it's shot kind of, like, over the shoulder into Waver's POV as Iskandar charges down Gate of Babylon, so I'm like, the perfect mirror to that scene is Unlimited Blade Works at, Ryudo Temple, when he actually uses the reality marble, like, and fucking wrecks Gil shit. So I'm like, I hope they at least hearken to that, because thematically that's the storyline they should reference for, like, the case files themes, I think. Because on the one hand, that it would be super satisfying for Waver that fucking Gilgamesh prick got his ass kicked. But also it's deeply unsatisfying because Waver's like, dude, this kid's like my age, how did he do it? Well, he wouldn't know probably, but like, because we've talked about it before, the reality marble's super unique, but still, like, it would be both deeply satisfying and unsatisfying, which I think incorporates case files perfectly so far. Which is, Waver wins, but he suffers. Boy, howdy, does he suffer.
Okay, so I just dug into it. Waver looks young for his fucking age. He was 19 during the Fourth Holy Grail War.
Okay, so he's almost 30 then. But still, damn, he's like, they played that up. Because he's a short boy, and, like, they dialed it up. On the other hand, that does mean that young Waver, as a servant, is completely overage. Interesting, given a lot of comparisons there. That's funny. But yeah, so he's 29 right now.
Oh man, okay. So I'm looking at it just to see what happens. So I'm just gonna read this from the Type Moon wiki, right? The Waver does not appear within Fate's Day Night. He is noted to have made a great impact 10 years after the end of the Fifth Holy Grail War. He rises for Yuki and together with Rin as the head of the Kosaka clan, sets out to completely take apart the Greater Grail. They are opposed by the Mages Association wishing to retrieve it instead, leading to a great turmoil on the same magnitude of the Grail War. His side eventually is victorious, and the Greater Grail is completely dismantled, marking the conclusion of the Fuyuki Holy Grail War. So it's not, like, immediately after.
Okay, so it's not right away. All right. Oh, well, it's still interesting. It's probably because he has to study with Rin for a while. But, dude, make that fucking light novel series.
Yeah. I think
Case Files concluded. I think that's part of the reason why they're doing the anime is, like, I think the light novel's finished. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
If it didn't, also, Case Files author, you're, at least from the anime adaptation and what I've seen of, like, the manga and stuff, you're great. Please license your work in the US.
We'll buy.
Please. We'll buy. 10 out of 10, we'll buy. But if you're not done, I'd love to see that, because that sounds great. That's something you don't, like, honestly, that's a K&K style story, which would be amazing. I'd love that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Axe is saying that it did finish. All right. Well, somebody write, Axe, you will stop typing right now? Shut the fuck up. Stop. Cease. Stop typing whatever you're typing. I see you typing. Don't do that. You're like, it ends with the cool one. I see you still typing. I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't type anymore. That's not something you want to see when you're watching text. When somebody's like, there was an ending. I'm gonna keep typing. I'm like,
More typing.
But all right. So we avoided that spoiler. But well, yeah, that sounds like a very interesting story to actually to talk about, and also it would allow you to actually be in the fucking future, because that's a thing Nasu is bad about, is stories that talk about stuff that happens later to people. Because yes, we talked about this earlier. This solidifies that right now the timeline of Case Files it's 2004, dudes. It is still in the internet revolution, but it's not modern at all. It's technically still in the past. Quite a ways in the past too. It's 15 years, because in case you couldn't tell, Type Moon just had their 15-year anniversary. But yeah, so that's super interesting what you said, Lucky.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Case Files anime is still really good, really interesting. I want to see more of the characters.
Excited for it tomorrow.
Yeah, I want to know who Eye Patch Girl is. She seems fun.
Yeah.
Also, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, this is this is primo Luvia, because this is this is immediately pre-suplex Luvia.
Well, no, it's still suplex Luvia because she still has a lot of.
I'm saying this is immediately before that scene. That's how long would you say the Grail War takes place? Is that a week, 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think it's a week.
Yeah, it's very short.
But Luvia does have this great line. What noble lady does not know her wrestling? I'm just like, God.
Yeah, a noble lady should know about pro wrestling, because she's still Luvia. But yeah, so like I said, I'm super excited for future episodes. I don't mind that they're not digging into the deep plot yet, because the episode's construction is really good, and they're actually letting me get used to these characters in an organic way, because otherwise I'd be like, what the fuck is... I mean, I kind of know what Flat's deal is, but I don't know what Lucien's deal. I'm like, what's up with you, dude?
I don't know what Gray's deal is.
Yeah, Lucky doesn't know what Gray's deal is. I do, but I have to... I also read about JP stuff, and like I said, boy howdy, they really threw that one out there with the event with Lady Rena's Case Files. I'm glad we get the anime before we get that event, because otherwise, woo. That's
excuse you.
That's like when I was worried when they announced the Babylonia anime, if we would get that before we got the Babylonia story in NA. I'm like, that's not good. That would be bad. No, they took care of it. It's fine. It took them a year to produce the anime when they announced it. And hopefully, given how good Case Files is, it's a different studio, because it's Cloverworks on Babylonia, right? So, hopefully the overlords of the Fate project can keep their shit together to because Babylonia is Nasu's writing, so it's all the original, it's all the right writers.
Yeah.
They announced at our NA panel that they're adapting the soundtrack, which is super cool. We talked about that before, so I won't go over it again. But that has all the right elements that it should be pretty good. So hopefully it is. I don't know. I know some people were kind of edgy about the Persona 5 animation. I think we talked about it, and basically it was just for us, it was just that it was too close to the source material. We're like, this is boring. This isn't interesting to me.
But Rascal Does Not Dream. You didn't watch it, but Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai was real good. Slow Start was fucking amazing. Darling and the Franxx.
Yeah, they collabed on that.
So I'm not too worried about animation wise. You also have to remember, Case Files being animated by Troika, which is really up there in terms of animation quality.
Mm-hmm. So, they're a very high-class studio.
Yeah, they are. And
it's being adapted, so maybe we don't have to worry about something you pointed out where, maybe they lose their plot in the second season.
Yeah.
It's an adaptation. The source material already works. All you have to do is not be dumb about it. But alrighty you. Let's see. What's the... we're about an hour 20. We should probably stop pontificating and wrap this up. This has got to get edited, and go out to people.
Yep.
Yeah. I think I said before that I added What is Moon Cell to the list of Teaching Omega Sensei questions. So, that poll will have started next week. So, consider jumping in as a 5 and up patron. We got a new month coming up if you want to get your benefits. Keep us rolling. So I think that's about it. So preview of next time. It'll be live, like we said, in case you forgot that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what's this? Like you posted something?
Did I?
No. Okay, I'm just like, you said like booyah and there was a type. I'm like, oh, what's an alert? No, it's fine. Next time. It'll be live, like we said. Big celebration. We'll probably get gushy about doing this for 2 years and you know, whatnot. What we think has changed, what still has to change, maybe. I don't know. Like it's, at some point, we do want to get the pipeline back for more detailed episodes again, because those are fun, and people do like the higher quality, but also people like them to be posted fast, so at the moment, it's not possible for us to do those things at the same time.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah. So, right now, just like the slight graphical package increases, I think, you know, some of the best we can do. But yeah, so that'll be a big deal, celebrating 2 years. We're gonna do So You Didn't Get That 5-star on the 3-4 stars who are new to come out. If they've previewed anything more for Anniversary, we'll be sure to talk about that. We'll be sure to talk about first impressions of Dead Heat, because that'll have been going on for like almost a week at that point.
Prepare for a robust Records from the Throne or All the World's Evil. Or both.
Yeah, we're going to be rolling big. Roll big.
Roll big.
And also, if you know, look forward to a Wanted on Castro Nero this weekend. I'm going to have to bust my butt, because, like I said, the banner starts in the middle of the night Monday, so that'll probably be look for a midnight Sunday release for public. Because we have to shoot What's Up tomorrow, and that usually chews up a big chunk of time and machine time. And yeah, so if you didn't get enough of us for an hour and a half today, go ahead and check out last week's episode. Like we said, if you're interested in the that one probably didn't get as searched as much because it wasn't as flashy. So like, go back in time, check that out. If you want to know more about stuff like that, consider listening to What's Up for other content. And we'll see you next week for more Let's Talk FGO. We'll see you later this weekend, for What's Up? Number 51, because we just did 50. And look for other future content over the week. Like I said, there will be a Wanted Castro Nero. There'll be a Wanted for Writer Alter later. That one will probably be weird. I don't know. Summer's interesting for me to talk about stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's not very lore heavy, but it is often reference heavy. But alright, that's the show basically, guys. So, I think that's everything. I should do the wind out now and say, if you like this episode, give it a like. If you have any comments, you can leave them in the comment section down below, or hit us up on our Discord. That link is in the description. It's a super fun community here where stuff happens. And, of course, if you're new here and haven't already, subscribe to our channel. I see you out there. I have analytics. Like 1/3 of our views is from people who aren't subbed. If you got to this point, you should sub so you keep getting our videos. We're approaching on 2,000 too. So keep that in mind. Even if you're already subscribed, consider hitting the bell for notifications so you always know when we post a new episode. Because, like I said, hey, maybe you want an alert when I post a Wanted episode in the middle of the night. Just saying. And of course, like it says at the front of the show, you can support us on Patreon. You can get this episode in audio format, downloadable, for as little as $1 a month. That includes our entire audio backlog, if you want to just power through those. And it really helps us out. And you can also get other stuff like access to polls, access to listening to the show live all the time. And like I said, next week, tune in to get a taste of what's that like. And yeah, you can just keep supporting us by keep watching our videos and maybe checking out some links down the bottom, merch, stuff like that. Just, hang out with us. Watch another video. There's an end card, by the way, in case you didn't know. It'll point you to a playlist and maybe some other shit. All right. So, yeah. That's everything from us. Let's call it here, Lucky. You got anything pithy you want to say?
No. I am digging for that black gold with all the wrong tools.
Okay, I'm gonna stare into the bottom of my coffee cup and hit the stop button.
Cool.